Hey guys, it's Tessa. My Black Friday sale started today, so go check out my website, see if there's anything you like. Because I use Shopify, it will only show up once it's in your cart. And my sale, everything in my shop is 50% off. So, firstly, my bangs look kind of crazy, and I'm sorry. I've been going to the gym, and I get really sweaty and gross, so I put my bangs up in a ponytail. So now they're all chaotic because I took them down. But anyway, so my next market is in 2 weeks, roughly. So I kind of procrastinated my way into not working on anything till now. So this video is to help me do my work, essentially. I am working on recreating the fall interlude cloven thyme shawl using only the loops and threads soft classic, and then the red is the Karen Cake Claret, I believe. But yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm also tracking the weight of how much of each color I'm using for the pattern I'm releasing. That is still in the works. It probably won't be released until early January or late January. It just kind of depends. It depends on just when I can finish the pattern, I can finish the sample, get all of my notes updated for the sample, you know, all the stuff. Upon getting all of that done, then I can, you know, have it tested and released. Anyhow, working on another one right now, the fall interlude, because it got so many looks at the last market. I think I'm also going to display it differently this time, but I'm not 100% sure. Basically what I did last time is I just had it sitting flat on my table, and a lot of people thought it was like a pillow cover or like a blanket. So I think this time I might hang it with the rest of my like cardigans and elmwood scarves. But yeah, so I'm working on that. I'm almost done. I think I have 3 colors left on 2 of the panels and 4 colors left on the other panel. So I'm cruising through this. It doesn't take too long to get through each row or each section even. The only thing that's going to take forever is weaving in all these ends, but I've got a goal to lock in, okay? But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. I do also want to make one more cardigan for the market because I sold one at my last market. I want to make another one for this market. It's going to be my double rainbow one, which is just, or the full rainbow I think is what I call it, but basically it's rainbow starting on pink, working our way out on both sides. So I'm going to work on that, I think, and I should be able to complete that by the end of this week if I finish this tomorrow, which should be achievable. But, so this video, whole purpose of it is to basically kick my ass into gear and get shit done. Also, I like to update you guys on my life a little bit. So, this is also a little bit life update. For you, it's only been like a week since we talked, or even a few days if I posted a midweek video this week. Oh my gosh, I'm having a stroke, okay? Anywho, in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, suddenly something like clicked in my brain. On like weight loss and things like that. I've always been overweight my entire life, and something in the last like week or 2 has kind of just clicked in my brain on actually losing the weight finally, especially since I'm 25. I'm at essentially my prime, quote unquote. I don't like calling it that, but that's essentially what it is for like my metabolic rate, and all of that. And frankly, right now is the youngest I am going to be, as young as I can be. So if it means for the next couple years I'm just grinding at weight loss until I'm at a healthier weight for myself and all of that, I might as well do it. Additionally, another kick why I'm really actually starting to do this as well is I unfortunately lost my father about 8 years ago at this point. And when he passed, before he passed, he was also overweight most of his life, and took a lot of great steps to get healthier. And he managed to lose about 100 pounds and then found out he was essentially destined to die in about 1.5 years. And I'm like totally trauma dumping here a little bit. I'm so sorry. I'll put a trigger warning at the start of this video. But essentially, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to wait till I'm 48 or 50 to get healthy just to find out that I'm not. And all of that work was essentially for nothing. So I'm 25. Get it, girly. I've been using an app on my phone to track like my calories and stuff, and it says based on essentially my goal weight and the calorie deficit that I'll be in, I should be able to hit my goal weight in 2027. So 2 years, that's it. All I gotta do is grind for 2 years and I'm good to go. I'm also doing a diet that's gonna be a little bit better at like overall maintenance. And it's not like a diet per se, it's a like way of eating change. Basically I'm focusing on things like more whole foods. I'm doing like an 80-20 diet of like 80% of the food I'm eating is whole foods, which just means foods in its most natural state, and then 20% is occasionally like the processed things and things like that. If you want to know more about that, let me know and I can do a yap with me about it. Anywho, all of that to say, I'm just exhausted recently. I do like an hour at the gym. It kills me because I do the elliptical and oh my god, the elliptical hurts so bad. Not hurts, it's just a lot. But I also, because I've been tracking all my calories and stuff, I've been finding all of these things that I didn't know I liked for like a long time. I didn't like sweets or sugary things or sodas very much, even if they were sugar free and stuff. But I found 2 of my favorite things in the world right now. I don't drink energy drinks very often. However, if I do, it's going to be the Ghost Peach. It's delicious. It tastes like white peach, or if you've ever had like an Asian white peach, it tastes a lot like that. And then I drink a lot of water, firstly. So much water, in fact, that I'm starting to hate the taste of water because I just drink straight water all the time. And I've also fallen in love with specifically the tangerine lime flavored water, flavored sparkling water. Okay, I know. For those of you who know me in real life, I fucking hate sparkling water, so it's crazy that I love that. I love how this has just become an entire yapping session. Anywho, that's my little mini update on life. I'm doing great, I'm killing it. I'm also making sure I'm not beating myself up if I do go over my calorie deficit or anything. My goal here is to lose weight healthily and at a steady rate, ideally. I've also consulted my doctor on this, and this is what they recommended as well. So if you do want to go on something like a diet, including a whole foods diet, I highly recommend speaking to a doctor or a dietitian or nutritionist before you do so. All of that out of the way, let's get back on track. So I currently have it estimated. One, I'm filming a shit ton of videos this week because I kind of fell behind because all the stuff I was dealing with. Now that I'm no longer dealing with what I was dealing with, I can kind of tell you guys. Essentially, a couple weeks ago was my dad's anniversary of him passing, and that time of year is just usually really difficult for me. That whole week usually is like a lot of pressure on me emotionally. I think I mentioned this previously, but if you want more information at all on kind of what happened with my dad, what happened with me during the time of my dad passing, let me know. I'm a very open person and I'm very upfront about the things I've experienced in life. And if I can tell you guys something that's happened to me and you might be experiencing something similar, I'd like to share what I've kind of learned from it and all of that. Anyway, no more talking about the dead dad, but back on track. So my plan here, I'm hoping to finish the fall interlude Cloven shawl by tomorrow, which shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to meet a friend. I'm gonna go hang out with a friend at their place, and I'm gonna bring my project with me. Hopefully finish it there, and then just work on whatever I need to in the like nitty gritty of it all. And then on Wednesday, I'm gonna start a new hexagon cardigan, the double rainbow I mentioned, and I should be able to finish that by Saturday or Sunday. Like, I'm not stressing myself out too much. When I say that I spend literally all of my time I'm not working, and now the hour a day basically that I go to the gym, I don't go every day, but the hour a day I usually go to the gym, crocheting. I spend all of my free time pretty much crocheting or knitting. I'm still working on the Daft Days cardigan. I've just hit a point with it where I'm bored of it, so I just need to take a break on it for a little bit. So unfortunately, I think this started last week or this week. Last week for you guys? This week for me? I don't know. Basically, I'm pausing releasing parts on that video because I'm still at the goddamn sleeves and I cannot move forward for some reason. I think it's because I hate sleeves. I hate them so much. Also, I'm really concerned I'm doing the wrong size, and I think that's what frightens me more than not frightens. I think that's what worries me more than anything, because when I started the halibut sweater, I also made it in the largest size available and realized that was way too big. So I frogged the whole thing that I had done. I did like half of the color work at that point. Frogged the whole thing and then started on the third largest size, so like 3 from the end. which I think realistically I should have done here as well, especially since I am losing weight now. Like, I should have gone a little bit smaller. I don't know. I'm gonna finish it regardless. See how I feel about it. Worst case scenario, I chuck it in the dryer for like 20-30 minutes just to shrink it a tiny bit. But yeah, so that's my plan with that. Anyway, I'm also not gonna beat myself up too much if I can't complete both projects in time. It's okay, it's not the end of the world. I have an entire extra week available to do this as well. My market's not until next Saturday, so I have, today's Monday, the 17th. And my next market is the 29th, so I have 2 weeks roughly, just under. I don't know the math. But yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna get to this and check back in once I'm done. Alright, so first of all, sorry in advance if my camera, if the angle is tilted slightly. I don't know what it is. It's probably because I have a shit tripod, but for whatever reason, my camera will not just sit like perfectly straight on my tripod. This has literally been a problem since I've owned this tripod. Honestly, I think it's because my camera's too heavy. I use a DSLR instead of a video like camera. It's a whole thing. I don't really want to buy right now a whole ass video camera, even though they're like a couple $100, $100 maybe. I like my DSLR. I love her. I've had her for almost 8 years and she's chugging. Okay, anywho, back on topic. So I finished all of the panels last night. I am realizing why I don't love this one as much as the original, and it's because the yellow I'm using is not nearly as like gold and like rich toned. It's a little bit on the lighter side, but I also think that kind of works. I don't know if I'll retake photos entirely for it because it is really similar. It's only like a shade or two off. But I mean, regardless, when it comes to like making multiple versions of the same item, dye lots can be kind of a problem. It's a whole thing. If you want a video on me bitching about dye lots, let me know. I hate dealing with dye lots. Anyway, I also am noting that the big reason why I wanted to make this one specifically in the fall interlude colorway is because the pattern I'm writing is using the fall interlude color scheme for the pattern writing, which that doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's like when to switch the colors to match this one specifically. That's what it's following. So I needed to weigh out the total yardage of each color I use so I could input that into the pattern. That was awful. Luckily, 4 years ago, Tessa decided it would be a smart idea to start cataloging yarn. So I was able to create the formulas already to track, like if I put in a number of grams, it'll output for me the number of yards. It's a whole thing. Anywho, all that to say, all 3 panels are done. So today's goal is to weave in all the ends on each panel individually and then do the seaming, which should be really easy. I also already started the cardigan. Work, as always, has been something lately, but today was a pretty okay day. I just had one really long meeting that should have only taken about 15 minutes and it ended up being almost 2 hours. So there's that. But after that meeting, it was my lunch break, so I got started on the cardigan because I needed something to just let my brain. I'm basically doing, I think I've already said, the double rainbow. I don't remember, or full rainbow might be what I called it previously. I don't really know. I'm switching up the colors I'm using a little bit because I have more tones of certain colors. I think usually in the original version, I have a lot of green, I have a lot of blue, and I have a lot of purple. This one is starting with predominantly pink, then only 2 shades of orange because I only have 2 shades of orange. And there's only so many shades of orange. 3 yellow shades, and it's gonna be 4 green, 6 blue possibly, and only 2 purple. I'm a little bit worried about it being really blue heavy, so I'm gonna look through my purple yarn. It's like at one of these cubbies. So this here is our Chaos white and black blues. Right below the blues is actually the cream tones, which you can't see, but below that is the purples. I just don't use purple very often. It's not a color I'm really drawn to, so I don't have a lot of purple, so it all just kind of goes a little bit out of sight, out of mind. So for now, this is where we're at. The second color is an extremely light pink, and I think it's a perfect transition between the white and the second pink color. However, I do feel like there's a bit of a stark jump here between the second pink color and the bright pink. I don't hate it though, like it doesn't look bad. I just think if I did it again, I'd add a 5th row of pink right between those two to like help it out, but who cares? It still looks cute as hell. So, started that, working on this. It's currently almost 6 p.m. and I went to the gym for like 20 minutes and I'm exhausted, of course. So I'm really just gonna, my goal here tonight I think is just to get through all of the ends because that's my least favorite part to deal with. So if I can deal with it now, I don't have to deal with it later. And then I can worry about seaming. So if I'm up late enough and it's only like 9 p.m., I can probably seam all 3 panels together, no biggie, no problem. But if it's like 10 by the time I finish weaving in these ends, there's no way I have time to seam them as well. But that's essentially the goal here. So let's get to it. Okay, so next steps. I don't know what my camera's doing. I don't know why it's lower. Next steps. Seaming. Alright, so my SD card just got full, so it cut me off in the middle of my sentence. I think what I was saying is now I'm gonna seam these up. I think. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so I have some yarn from when I made the first fall interlude. I have some yarn left from the tassels because I'm doing the tassels the same color, so I don't have to make another listing. But I have some of those left, and then I also have some of the yarn from the skein that I used in this for the orange as well. So if I run out of the pre-made tassels, I can make a couple extra, no biggie. But I am going to get to that. The plan here is going to be seaming and then adding the tassels because it helps me with positioning. Additionally, I am planning on releasing this pattern this year. So that's really fun and exciting. I know. But not this year, next year probably. It'll probably be in testing by the end of this year. So if you're interested in pattern testing for me, follow me on Instagram or TikTok or really any social media. I post my tester videos or tester calls there. It's just easier for me. I'll probably even post a short of it here on YouTube, but I don't really know how that works and if my followers see my shorts or not. I don't know. I don't know. So, followers, subscribers is the word. I'm so tired. I'm gonna connect some panels now and I will check in when I am probably finished with the tassels and everything. But yeah. Alright, so I look mildly crazy because my hair's up. My bangs are too long, I need to trim them. Doesn't matter. But look what I finished. You can't even see. Look what I finished. Oh. Nothing happened. So, now that this is done, I can keep working on the cardigan. I can mark this as available and I can put it in the fucking box and I don't have to think about it anymore. I like the way this one turned out a little bit more than the original. I think it's just because I was a little bit looser with my tension. For whatever reason, like, I am really good at playing with my tension. So if I'm being more mindful about what I'm doing, I can pay more attention and be looser. But if I'm like fixating on something, my tension's usually really tight. But my brain goes zoom on a train track right now. So I can't really focus on anything. So just remembering that I need to have a loose tension is easy. Instead of having to think about like, oh, am I making these stitches too tight? Am I having issues? Whatever. Plus, the larger the item like this, where it's just naturally going to, with gravity, move and kind of exist, I don't really need to worry about it too much. These panels, I will note, a lot of square panels like this. It happens also on the 6-Day Star Blanket by Betty McKnits. The first few rows will sometimes cause buckling. So like this section will sit up like that while the rest of it's flat. That just happens occasionally. Usually gravity will fix that, or steaming the item or blocking the item, depending on what material it's made of, will usually help. My goal for the rest of the night is to 1, vibe, 2, work on the cardigan, and I think that's it for right now. Like I said, my brain's not working very well, but I will check in tomorrow probably with whatever progress I make on the cardigan tonight, because I would like to be a vegetable for a few hours and not have to exist. finished. I finished this cardigan. It's all done. I just need to take photos for it because my market's in 2 days. So that's fun. Today's also Thanksgiving, so happy Thanksgiving. Have fun with whatever you're doing. I gotta get to packing and finishing everything up for the market, so I will see you guys next time. If you want to see more of this in my chaos, subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or feelings below, add them, comment them. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.